98 here, along with
Good morning, TNT. We are here, middle of the week. Let's see how this party rolls out. Okay, Ray, you sent out some updates?
Sure did. 2 days worth. All right, so we'll start with Tuesday's updates. Prime Minister Al-Kadhimi announced a special session of Parliament next week, which is this week, to pass the 2020 budget. The Kurds returned to Baghdad to meet with the finance minister to finalize deals. This move is essential and anticipated for this week. Iraq's finance minister is on TV declaring the review of the value of the dinar is critical and should be done expeditiously. That was the Tuesday updates, and then Wednesday morning updates. It starts with late Tuesday evening. Prime Minister Al-Kadhimi informs that the reform papers will be sent to Parliament at the end of this month. An Iraqi TV spokesman is stating that the influence of the political parties no longer control the office of the Prime Minister under Al-Kadhimi's leadership. Now, Wednesday morning, Iraqi TV is stating that the 2020 budget represents 148 trillion dinar, with the price of oil set at $40 per barrel. Iraq is expecting a visit from President Trump regarding announcing more removal of U.S. troops. And on another note, Prosperity Package holders are being contacted and having their contact information updated. Or so the report comes in to me. But that's it for the updates.
Shoot, that's all we got to do then. All right, any questions? All the updates. All right, let's go through it. Guys, they're saying the budget is done. 2020 budget is done. They gave us the amount. They even gave us $40 a barrel is what it was said at. So what does that convert the rate to is what we're waiting to hear. They tell us that it's going to be passed by the end of the month. Well, evidently, it's already passed, or they wouldn't be making that part of it public, since we know what it is. Okay? I guess the biggest thing you guys heard was Trump was supposed to be going to Iraq. That's on their television, and I'm wondering why. Because on their TV this morning, they're telling them that Trump is coming to Iraq to tell them that he's going to remove the troops from Iraq or draw down. Now, first of all, I said, what's the big deal? We found that out last week or week before last when Al-Kadhimi was here. He left with that information. They broadcast it all over Iraq, news articles, everything else. Same thing with Afghanistan. But for some reason today on their news, they say he's coming over there to make an announcement that was already made. And I'm thinking, why? Is it a publicity stunt? I mean, why'd you go all the way over there just to say something that's already been said? As a matter of fact, when it was going out, when Al-Kadhimi was here, the whole congregation that was here, the news was everywhere. We even saw it in our news, right? But guess what? Turn on your TV right now. Look, scrolling across the bottom of CNN. They're saying that Trump's going to announce that he's removing troops from Iraq and from Afghanistan. Even though we knew there was 8,000 from Afghanistan, 2,500 from Iraq. I'm saying it can't be news when we knew it 2 weeks ago. Can it still be, front page news, main action news? But it is there today. Now, here's the thing that never, ever, ever happens. First of all, you guys who have followed Trump know that his biggest concern, and he is concerned with the fact that he thinks somebody's trying to assassinate him. So he doesn't let anybody go. Last time he went to Iraq, nobody even knew it until he was on the way home. So I'm trying to think, why would they put on today's TV that they're waiting for him to come? When he doesn't ever want anybody to know he even left the country till he's back home or back on the way home. So a little bit of mystery in all this going on today. So I was hoping it was true because I said since all that's old news, it's already broadcast on the TV. At least 4 newspapers have it printed out as their main story this morning that he made the announcement on Air Force One. Why would he possibly be going all the way to Iraq? But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens if it happens. Because Al-Kazemi is supposed to be in Kurdistan tomorrow, meeting with the Kurdistan government, original government, finalizing their deal. Now, that's the whole thing. We knew that was supposed to happen last week, Saturday. It didn't happen, but guess what? All the banks thought the RV was going to happen. It didn't. Then on Monday, they were going to meet. It said Monday or Tuesday. They didn't meet Monday. They did meet Tuesday. And then they put the final meeting off, not till Wednesday, but till Thursday to sign off on all agreements. And the banks still think once that happens, actually people in Iraq think once that happens, they're going to see the RV numbers are going to change. So the good thing about the budget they put out, they said it's going to use the numbers that they were in 2019 and 2020, same purposes they had for 2019, 2020, with the exception of the job grades, the advancements, and new projects. All that's going into the 2021 budget, which is supposed to be here by the end of the month, along with this. So they are definitely getting ready. This is definitely coming to an end. Bankers are still there. They're working from 6 this morning to 11 at night. That's their shifts. They already know it. They're continuing to do it. They still think this can happen. The most recent thing is by the 15th of the month. Everybody for this, between now and the 15th, that it should come out. One of those days, I'm still getting the same thing any day, any hour, any minute now. It's done. Our Treasury is still pumping out money. They've gone from the $100 bills down to the 20s and 50s, pumping them over time, getting money out to the banks and in the streets, so it's there. So they know what's going to happen as soon as this announcement is made. So they're trying to flood it, along with, supposedly, there's going to be another stimulus package done. So they're saying they're going to use $300 billion to produce the next stimulus package, which all should be happening by the end of the month. For various reasons. It hasn't happened, not because they don't have an agreement, but because everybody is using it for a political statement right up to the election, which is okay. We expect that. I mean, we're smarter than the average bear. We know what's going on. And we have people with insight. Hey, this is what we're waiting for. So it has a big push during the month of October. So we'll see that along with us going in. I think it's going to be good. So some of you guys haven't been around long enough to know, we're in a situation that back when we first started this, it was all about the dinar, period, which made it just sound absolutely ridiculous that we could get to this point where we are today. All about Iraq and the dinar. After a couple of years, we got into the global currency reset because they saw an opportunity to do that. With the global currency reset came a whole bunch of programs. You know, repaying the farmers was part of it. Let me see. What was this under, Ray? I can't even remember what we called it
Which one?
In, the treaty that all this falls under.
I don't remember.
All right, that's right. Somebody gonna hit me with it in a minute. Anyway, but guys, there was another program which was called prosperity packages, and that is where governments around the world were just going to take money and give it to the people. Supposedly pay off mortgages, pay off loans, again, reset the globe. So, but that was supposed to be for individuals to be reset with too. So, prosperity packages were going around, and people could apply for them. A lot of them was fake programs. They were charging people $500 to sign up for $50 million, this, that, and taking their money and running. And people had to be careful who were paying for it. And some of them were legitimate programs, but some were absolute scams. That same thing they were doing with the dinar. Well, I remember when I got, I think I'll tell you guys, through my sources, I was able to put together my own list. So they said, hey, you can put this many people on the list, and what's going to happen is they're going to receive either a letter or a phone call from the bank telling them to come down and sign for their $1 million. So whoever you put on this list is going to get $1 million when the program starts or when the RV happens. So I made up my list and I submitted, and that's how I know there's some legitimate ones. It didn't cost me a dime, didn't cost anybody else a dime. You just had to be in the know to be added to the list, or like we were able to put together our own list. So what we're hearing, and I don't know, because I'm kind of shaky on this whole prosperity program that I'm going to tell you about, because somebody sent me a text this morning, but I guess it's because Ray put it in the forum. They wanted to know what it was about. We got somebody, got a phone call, got their information, supposedly got their code, was told that they were supposed to use it when they're doing their exchange, and they were going to get a ridiculous amount of money. So, ridiculous amount of money being over $50 million through the prosperity program. I know with my contacts, they were only getting $1 million, and that's how they were supposed to get it. So for them to be getting $50 million, I don't know. I don't want to be a doubter, but just, and I'm not going to give you the details other than that. The way it was laid out, I'm like, okay, well, then you didn't have to buy no dinar, no dong, no nothing. You just got $50 million coming your way. Then that's a lot for one individual. If we're giving out $1 million, they're going to give them out to a bunch of people. I said, okay. But they're giving each person $50 million, that's something totally different. But that's what the prosperity program is about. It was initially set up. Some of you are going to get it. Some of you gave away your $500, your $5,000, just like the people who got conned into giving away their dinar. And at the time, people who paid to get involved in the lawsuits, then you can buy your way into a lawsuit, and they're just going to pay you $50, $60, $100 million. So all that stuff was in the past. We'll see if it pays out or not. I don't know everything. Some things Ray knows. But anyway, we'll go from there. All right, let's get this party started, Ray.